Hey guys, welcome to Retire with Less. Today we are going over the 1 month review of a new series called Global X versus Nationwide. And it's basically all of the collared income ETFs. We're going to look at the income and basically like the income fund showdown. If you missed that, I'll link that up top and down below to the income fund showdown for year end. I will also link to the NUSI and the QRMI and XRMI video to explain what these are. But basically, all of these run a collar. So what they end up doing is they sell covered calls, like some of you are familiar with, like QILD. But what they also do is buy a protective put that essentially should limit, depending upon where they put that put, some of the potential downside, right? And then the difference between the call and the bought put is pretty much what you receive in income. So you're not going to receive as high of a yield as, QYLD, XYLD, RYLD, for the price of having some measure of crash protection. Okay. There's the debate about whether it actually worked, because we had a pretty serious month this month, and some of these did okay and some of them didn't do very hot. NUSI, I'm looking at you. But I mean, it's 1 month. You really can't make big judgments about any of these with a 1 month performance, right? We need to keep looking at this over a long period of time, at least a year, just to have something to look at to really base the performance on. And really, what I wanted to do here is look at Nationwide, right, over a period of a year, because they are actively managed, and then look at Global X, who runs a passive strategy, and see which one performs better. Right now, I kind of give Global X a pass a little bit. Some of these numbers might be a little funny because essentially all these are brand new, right? Well, actually, yeah. XRMI and QRMI is a little bit newer, but Nationwide, give them a slight pass here because, when a fund is really small when they first start out, the price and all that stuff really kind of, it doesn't work out very well because the bid and ask, and there isn't very many people buying and selling. So it's hard to get a stable price together. That's why I say, well, just give this some time. But with all that being said, I'm going to start out with NSPI, and that's the Nationwide S&P 500 collar. So it's like NUSI, but it's on the S&P 500. And what I'll explain here, this is just like the income fund showdown. We start January 1st, and I take the opening day pricing, and we invest $100,000 into it, and that's how many shares we would own. Now, this was absolutely the wrong time to be putting $100,000 into this, but that's neither here nor there. We're just going to look at it over a period of a year and see how they shake out. But obviously, all of them lost money this month. So on January 1st or 3rd or whatever the first trading day is of 2022, it was 25.28, bought us 3,955 shares. Close of business January 31st, it was selling for $24 with a capital loss of $5,063, right? So we're down 5% right off the first month. But we did get a dividend of 13.9 cents. Gives us an income of $549.84. Now, I am not going to look at this as reinvestment. I'm going to look at this as they are designed, as an income fund, right? So you receive the income, you spend it. That's what these are designed for. So we were able to collect basically $550 from NSPI. Now the total here, what this means is the total value of the investment, right? So it's your starting capital plus or minus any gains or losses plus the income. So the total value is $95,486.55. That's not necessarily what your portfolio is, because your portfolio is actually $94,936 because you've taken $549.84 out to spend to live, and you've lost $5,000 in capital. Okay. So we'll move on over to XRMI, and XRMI over here is the Global X S&P 500 collar. And on January 3rd, we opened up $100,000. We were able to buy 3,749 shares. Close of business January 31st, 25.55 for a capital loss of basically $4,200, so 4.2% down. But we did get a 19.7-cent dividend from XRMI for a total income for the month of $738.66. So our ending capital is $95,800. So the total value of it, $96,539. I can probably take off that total part because that really doesn't really matter. Next one. Oh, one other metric I wanted to show was how they did against their respective indexes, right? Now, they're not going to trade. They should, theoretically, on a down move, trade better than its respective index. So if this went down, if the S&P 500, which these are modeled after, I don't want to say they track them because they don't. They should fall less than what the S&P 500 did, and we'll see what that was. So the S&P 500 year to date down 5.86%, and nationwide was down 5%, and Global X S&P 500 one is down 4.2. So they both did just slightly better than the S&P 500. Next up, we have the nationwide Dow Jones collared strategy, and on January 3rd, we bought 3,965 shares. We are now currently down $4,559, down 4.5%. We did get 14 cents in dividends for a total of $555.11 in income that we went and paid some bills with. So our ending capital, $95,440. Now, Global X doesn't have a Dow Jones one, so we're just going to just track this on its own. So this one was down 4.56%, and the Dow Jones Industrial was down 3.97. So not so good, because these are collar strategies. Although the Dow Jones was the strongest index for the month of January, but still, that's kind of, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see your collar strategy losing more money than the actual index. If that makes sense. I just mean if the index is going down. Next one is the nationwide Russell 2000. January 3rd, we bought 3,954 shares. Close of business January 31st, down to $23.86. So we are down $5,654, 5.65% capital loss. We received a dividend of 14 cents for a total of $553.58 in income that we went and had steak dinners a few times in a week or something, whatever you want to do. And the Russell was down 10.74% for the month. And NTKI down 5.65. So that's where you want to see. You know, it did essentially roughly 50% better than the actual index and gave you $550 in income. Now the big goose egg. I wouldn't call it, not a goose egg, but the surprise one that really, everybody was surprised at how it performed is NUSI. NUSI, 3,581 shares owned, capital loss of $8,022, down 8% for January alone. Capital is down to 91,977. NUSI, of course, is the Nasdaq 100 one. And we got 16.6 in dividends, $594.56 in income received. So our ending capital, 91,977 there. And QRMI is the Global X version of NUSI, basically. And we got 4,284 shares. Only lost $5,312.77. Did get a dividend of 14.1 cents, so $604.11 in income received, but down 5.3%. So that is a huge difference between QRMI and NUSI. But like I said, a lot of these from Global X are new. We'll see how this shakes out over time. But this is what I would have expected from NUSI. So that being NUSI being actively managed, could have possibly, the managers may have made a mistake there. Who knows? But that's why we want to follow this. So how'd they do against the Nasdaq? Well, the Nasdaq was down 10% year to date. So NUSI outperformed that by 2 percentage points, and QRMI outperformed that by about 50%. So about 5 percentage points roughly. So there you have it. Still too early to tell, but it's a good baseline to see. The best performing one out here was XRMI, which was the S&P 500 Global X collar strategy. So far, I gave you the highest income and the lowest decline in capital. So that's it, guys. First edition of the Global X versus Nationwide. And we'll just keep this going every month, and I'll keep updating it. And stay tuned next week. I think I'm going to have either my net worth update or, I think I'll do the income, my net worth update next week. January was pretty ugly, and I'll be happy to share with you all the good and all the bad. So hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye. I am not a financial advisor. The information contained in this video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. It is not intended to be investment advice. Please seek a licensed professional for any investment, tax, or legal advice. Thank you.